breakfast, dude? Should we go sit by the lake, dude? Should we go sit by the lake? Does that sound like a good plan? Yeah, let's go sit by the lake. Come on. Well, good morning, folks. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous morning out here on this lake. We traveled back from Washington, and we're actually back in Oregon right now. Beth isn't currently with me. She is actually spending some time with one of her nieces, and they are actually camped on another lake right now. For those that are unaware or not in Oregon, Oregon is having just an awful time with forest fires right now, and also some of the other neighboring states. I've noticed Washington has got a few fires going now, and I think there's a couple in California as well. But we had a lightning storm here last week, and it lit off a few fires, and most of the state is just covered in smoke. And in fact, if you followed my last video, you know Beth and I were traveling through Washington, and I've got a whole bunch of content that I still need to edit together for that. But we left Washington, we came back to Oregon, we went to my shop to do some projects, and we just decided that we just couldn't stay there. We weren't necessarily threatened by fire, but the smoke from the surrounding fires was awful. All right, so we're packing up. We were actually going to do a few more chores here at the shop, but today is supposed to be, I think, like 98, close to 100. And what you guys can see, what looks like maybe fog or clouds around the shop, is not fog or clouds. It is smoke, because there's a large fire off this direction in the BLM, and then there is a much larger fire this direction up on the National Forest, and then heading this direction, like you're heading west towards the Valley of Oregon or the coast of Oregon, there's another really large fire. So I got out of there, I looked at the air quality layer on Google Maps, and decided that Southern Oregon was probably one of my best bets to try to escape this smoke. And there's an area that, if you guys have followed me for a long time, that you know I love to frequent, and I just beelined it to here. And like I said, it is just wonderful to be out of the smoke. It's a beautiful morning. The lake is really quiet, just a couple fishermen out and boats trolling, and I can see that there's some fish out jumping. So I think I'm going to enjoy some coffee here for a little bit, and then I'm going to go up and make myself a quick breakfast, and then I think I'm going to grab my fishing pole and see if I can't catch anything from the shore here. Now, there's only a few dispersed spots here on the lake. Most of the areas where you can camp are campgrounds, and the other dispersed spots I checked were already taken. So I ended up finding this one, which isn't bad, but there is still a little bit of a trail between you and the lake, so you're not like camped with your vehicle close to the lake, which is a little bit of a challenge if you want to grab something or you need something from the vehicle. There is about a 50 to 60 yard little hike, but all things considered, I'm not complaining, because it is really nice, and the van's in shade, which is good and bad because it's not great for solar, but have a little private beach out there where I've got the hammock, and that's pretty nice. So the temps are already starting to warm up a little bit. It was nice and cool this morning. Needed a little bit of a jacket, but already the jacket is too much. I do think it's going to be somewhat mild up here in the mountains. Maybe upper 70s, low 80s today, which will be fantastic for going out, spending the day out on the lake, doing some fishing and stuff. But I do feel bad for all those that are really affected by the forest fires that are happening here in Oregon, and I know there are some in neighboring states as well. But the little town of Sisters that I really love and I spend a lot of time in, you know, they're under evacuation. The fire's right up against the town, so yeah, scary for all of them. And, you know, not everybody just has the ability when things get rough to just hop in their van and drive somewhere else. So I'm very hopeful for some milder weather that will help the firefighters get a handle on some of these fires and be able to protect some structures and keep people safe. So one of the things that I do when I'm out in the forest to make sure that I'm in a safe area is I use different apps. And there's a lot of different apps that will kind of help you know if there's fires in the area. One of the apps that I use is Watch Duty. It gives me a lot of alerts and lets me know what's kind of going on in different areas. Another app that I use is just Google Maps. They do have different layers, and you can check for wildfires, and you can also check for air quality. And that's what I did when I came out here, is, like I said earlier, is I looked at the air quality map to see an area that I could go to that didn't seem to be overly affected by the smoke from the fires. So anyways, I'm just going to cook up this quick breakfast. I'm going to keep it simple this morning. I got a couple eggs cooking right now. I'm going to cook up my favorite sausages that I get, these pre-cooked sausages that I get from Grocery Outlet. And then I think I'll get my fishing pole out and get it rigged up, and then we'll go out and see if we can't hook up with some of these fish that I see jumping out there. This is definitely one of the advantages of van life, and that is just being able to easily move and get out of harm's way or better your condition. Doesn't matter if it's super hot somewhere or smoky or some other issue that's making it uncomfortable. You just get in your van, turn the key, and point it somewhere better. So the water in this lake is extremely mild right now. I actually do have waders if I wanted to wear them, if I didn't want to be wet. But with it warming up the way it is right now and how warm this water is, it's actually just really refreshing to be out here in swim shorts. So I'm going to try fishing a little bit here with my lure and my spinning rod. But I do have my fly pole with me as well, and maybe I might try that. I'm not really sure if I want to get it out or not. But I have seen them, like I said, jumping and hitting the top of the water a lot. So maybe a dry fly on the top of the water might be a little better option than a spinner. But I'm just going to work up and down the beach here. There's a lot of snags and stuff over on this side of the water. Plus there's also on the other side as well. Maybe I can find some fish that are holding up near those snags. Oh, let's see here. Smoked Gouda, pepper jack, Havarti, some garlic salami. What else we got here? Turkey, oven roasted turkey, and some honey ham. I think that will do. A little bit of brown mustard. Pepper jack. Something for you too, dude. Pretty good sandwich. It would be nice if I had some lettuce and some pickled onions. That's something that Beth has been putting on my sandwiches lately, and I really like that. But not going to complain about this. Well, folks, things change so very quickly when you're up here in the mountains during fire season. So we've been enjoying a beautiful day without any smoke. And then I went and made that sandwich, and I came right back down here to the water to relax and hang out a bit more. And as soon as I got down here, you can tell from behind me here, the whole area is just now starting to get smoked out. I quickly looked at watch duty, and there are some small fires in the neighborhood of like 2 to 3 acre fires, and I think there's like 3 of them that I noticed that are within my vicinity. I would say they're anywhere from 3 to possibly 6 miles away at this point. But the wind, as you're probably hearing in the microphone, is starting to kick up a little bit, so that's probably sprucing them up a bit, and it is obviously coming this direction. So I don't think I'm in any danger right now. I still see people out on the water. Nobody seems to be too concerned about it. But I think just for my own happiness, I will just make sure that the van is ready to roll out at a moment's notice. Oh, is he a good boy? Is he being a lover? Yeah. Well, folks, I don't think we got to worry about those fires. The smoke has dissipated a ton. It's still a little bit hazy out, but not bad at all. I've been just kind of hanging out. I've tried to fish a little bit more, but still no luck. I might try a little bit more this evening as the sun drops, see if the fish get a little bit more active. But for the most part, I've just really been enjoying sitting here in the hammock. There's a nice breeze coming off the lake. It's just been really, really, really nice. And Ben's just kind of been hanging out with me, sleeping. But yeah, I think this will just be the way the rest of the day goes. We'll just hang out here, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you did, please do give it a like. And if you have any comments or questions, leave those down below. And we'll catch you guys again outside.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors.